Hi, boys and girls. Are you ready for a story? I hope so. If you're ready for a story, take a seat. If you're ready for a story, take a seat. Clap your hands, stomp your feet. Fold your hands all nice and neat. If you're ready for a story, take a seat. Well, today we're reading some stories about feelings. And we all have a lot of different feelings. So maybe you can relate to some of these stories. Let's read the first one.
Our first book for today is My No, No, No Day. It's written by Rebecca Patterson, and it's read for you by permission of Penguin Publishing. Pay attention to the pictures in this book, boys and girls. I think this picture tells you something already. Yesterday I woke up and Bob was crawling around my room, licking my jewelry. So I shouted, "Get out of my room!" And that was the start of my no, no, no day. Then I came downstairs and I saw that egg. I cried and said, "I can't eat that." And Mommy said, "You could eat it last week. Look at Bob eating his mashed banana." After the terrible egg, I didn't like my shoes either. So I took them off all by myself, shouting, "No shoes!" And then we had to go shopping. And Mommy said, "Please stop wiggling, Bella." But I couldn't stop wiggling. And in the end I shouted, "Get me out!" Mommy said, "You will give Bob an earache and you are giving me a headache." And Bob poked me and said, "Ear?" At lunchtime, Sasha and her mommy came to play and have some peanut butter and grapes and a cookie. But my cookie broke. Then I couldn't play nicely, and I kept saying, "No, you can't be princesses." And in the end, Sasha and her mommy went home. In the afternoon, it was my ballet lesson. I said, "Ballet is too itchy." But I was very loud, and Mrs. Clark stopped playing the piano, and Miss Louisa said, "Dear, oh dear, perhaps you should sit in the corner then." She is having a bad day. On the way home, we met the lady who lives next door, and she said that Bob was the sweetest thing she'd seen all day. And then she said, "And how is Bella?" I was a long way behind, so I had to shout, "I have a hurting foot." And Mommy said, could I please keep my voice down, and could I please stop lying on the sidewalk? Then it was time for my supper and my bath, but those peas were too hot, and our bath was too cold. And I was too wet, and it was too minty. After that, I rolled and said, "No bed, no, 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 no bed, no, no." And Mommy said, "Well, I think someone needs to go to bed." But I rolled all over my room, and then I rolled into Bob's room and said, "Bed is for babies." And then I yawned. A little yawn. What do you think, boys and girls? Do you think she's getting tired? Then I crawled into my room, and Mommy said, "Who wants a story?" And I said, "Nobody." But she came into my room anyway, and we cuddled up and had my best story about fairies and cakes. Yawn. I yawned again, and I said very quietly, "Today was a very bad day, Mommy. Sorry." And she kissed me goodnight and said, "I know, we all have those days sometimes, but perhaps you will be more cheerful tomorrow." And I was cheerful all day long. And that picture tells part of the story too. It was a tough day.
Well, we all do have bad days sometimes, but there's a lot of other feelings. So let's try this. Sometimes on my face, you'll see how I'm feeling inside of me. A smile means I'm happy. A frown means I'm sad. Gritting my teeth means I'm mad. And when I'm feeling proud, I beam and glow. But when I'm shy, my eyes turn down low. Let's see, I'm going to show you a picture of lots of different feelings. Another word for feelings is emotions. And you can see there's happy and sad, angry, excited, afraid, shy, guilty, tired, jealous, loved, hopeful, bored, surprised, embarrassed, sorry, and proud. We all, both parents and children, have all kinds of different feelings. And it's okay to have different feelings. But it's what you do with them that can count. So sometimes it helps to tell somebody what you're feeling. Even if you have to point to a picture that kind of looks like how you feel. But let's read our second story.
Our second book for today, boys and girls, is How to Put Your Parents to Bed by Mylisa Larsen, illustrated by Babette, and read for you by permission of Harper Publishers. In our first book, we kind of saw how a little girl had a really difficult day. But you know, parents can kind of have a difficult day and get worn out too. So let's read this book. I know you're not tired. You could scale a tall tower. You could sail savage seas. You could paint a masterpiece. It's bedtime, but bedtime is the last place you want to be. Adventures are out there waiting. But have you looked at your parents? Poor things. Just between you and me, they're not looking their best. They need to go to bed. Parents are not good at going to bed. I have to put in a load of laundry, they say. I need to do the dishes. Just one more email. It's one excuse after another with them. You need to take charge. Take the plate out of their hands. Gently close the computer. Tell them it's time for bed. Start with brushing teeth. They will argue. They will say they'll do it later. Squeeze out the toothpaste and get them brushing. Help them if you can. Those back molars can be hard to reach. Next, get them into their pajamas. You will be amazed at how long this takes. Parents get distracted by the smallest things. Phones, magazines, TV, the cat. Be patient. Keep them moving towards the bedroom. If you let them sit down, they will fall asleep anywhere. Sleeping parents are extremely hard to move. Some of them snore. Now, some parents become unruly when faced with actually getting into bed. Tiny things upset them. They can work themselves into a state. Remain calm. Do not negotiate. It's time for bed. This next part is tricky. Stories. Parents love stories at bedtime, but they can get set in their ways. They may insist on only hearing their favorites. If they are used to 3 stories, they want 3 stories, not 2, not 1, no surprises. You would think at this point that you are almost there. Your parents are in bed, teeth brushed, pajamas on, stories read. But this is when something unexpected always comes up. Their favorite pillow is missing. They want to check on the dog. Their socks itch. Tell yourself that this is almost over. Uh-oh, what are they doing? Parents are having a pillow fight. Handle each incident calmly. Tuck them in. Kiss them goodnight. Remind your parents that they are not to make phone calls when you leave the room. Better yet, take their cell phones. Close the door. Listen to make sure that they're quiet. Take a bow. You've gotten your parents off to bed. Now you can finally enjoy some time for yourself. But just between you and me, you are not looking your best. You look exhausted. What's happened? Yep, she's falling asleep. Maybe you need to go to bed. Well, that's the end. Both parents and children can have feelings. Sometimes we have bad days. Sometimes we just get tired out. But I hope that you have a good day today, because that's a lot more fun. All right, take care, boys and girls. Bye-bye.